Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Tonight we have a very special guest. You know him as kcclubkirby. He's currently working in the video game industry right now, and he's also a very talented voice actor. We're very excited to welcome David to the show. David, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, Chrono, thanks for having me. How you doing?
Yeah, doing great. I'm so glad you can come back. It's been a long time since we've had any guest, but tonight's kind of special because we're going to do something that I really couldn't show the game as well unless I have someone else here. So really glad you could make it. Are you ready?
Excited. Yes.
Are you ready to go back to October 1982?
Take me there.
All right, the game tonight is Wizard War, only on the Dragon 32. We're going to dive right in, showing the box off for Wizard War. Awesome. This one is by Salamander Software, and this is the very first game we've played by Salamander Software. In fact, I'd love to know who made this game, and you'll want to know too by the time we finish playing this, who in the world did this, because they deserve some props.
It's a beautiful art. I love the old school style.
Yeah, and it's doing something different than majority of boxes on computer. You know, it has like a cool yellow motif, and we've already seen really good artwork on the Dragon 32. This one is still unique even for that system. Awesome. Not really showing too much out there. So this is the 34th game we've played on this little Welsh micro. And most of the games have been fairly similar to what we've seen on the TRS-80 color computer, but this is only on this system. Very, very rare to find and play. This also should be considered with, this shouldn't be based on Wizard of War, W-O-R, which you were there, if you remember, when we played it in the arcade.
Yes.
This is a completely different game. We have seen Wizard of War brought home to a few computers, but this is a completely different game.
I'm familiar with wizardry, though, that's for sure.
Oh, yes, and wizardry. Yeah, this one, we'll get into it. There's the cassette that we're going to pop into our Dragon 32 to play Wizard War. So we're pretending right now, well, at least this box is the later box. I believe 1983 is this one. This is fantastic. Two wizards battling it out. The mighty mages of the planet Zarg have been involved in a life and death struggle to decide the fate of their world. Now, there is lore, lots of lore when we go to the manual. We will not read all the lore in its entirety, but it's pretty cool that this exists. And there's an example of the screenshot. Yeah, here's the manual for Wizard War. Oh, the spell book. We're going to need this. All right, so I actually have given David a copy of the spell book so he can refer to that too, because we are going to show how to play the game, but we're going to do a real Wizard War. We are going to battle it out.
I love when companies would do this where, this in and of itself is a piece of art. Just the manual itself being like considered a spell book, like they're playing into this fantasy that you yourself are learning these spells. It's very cool.
Yes, I love it. So this game requires two joysticks plugged into the Dragon 32. These are two analog joysticks, just like they were on the TRS-80 color computer, but you have to have two people to play. There is no computer, there's no artificial intelligence, and hence why it's so gracious that we can have a guest here tonight to play. There's something else here in the manual. They point out that on some Dragon 32s you can speed up the game, and to do this you poke the game. Now, if you've been here for the show, we've had people in the chat bring this up, like, hey, if the game's slow, poke the game. Just give it a few pokes to make it go faster, but I've never done it. Here tonight, we are going to poke the game and make it run a little faster because our Dragon 32 is ready to go. And here's the lore, the Wizard of War spellbook. Dave, you want to read it all?
I don't know if I would do the whole thing, but
yeah,
for many years, the mighty mages of the planet Zarg have been involved in a life and death struggle to decide the fate of their world.
That's great. Yeah, and from there you can read the rest. It is epic duels to the death, and it even ends with, "We who are about to watch you die salute you." It explains how to load the game. Gives us a few game options. Here's where it starts getting amazingly strange. The computer's going to ask how many people are going to play the game. This is a game that can be played with 2 to 9 people. That's right, 9 people. Here on the show, we've already seen some very amazing games with lots of people involved, like Galaxy that Avalon Hill did. That allowed you to play with 20 different people on a few home computers. That would be the max that we've seen up to this point. And then another one on the VIC-20 allowed 10 players to play at this. But this was games that were taking turns. This you are still not all playing at the same time. The winner for games like that would be things we saw in the arcade like Indy 800, Sprint 8, or Tank 8. They allowed for 8 people to play all at the same time. This game is 2 people will play at the same time because you will be battling as a wizard. But 9 players, that's just so rare. I mean, the only other games we've seen is like Yahtzee, Horse Racing Classic on the Apple II, Global War on the Apple II, or Giant Slalom. But all it is one player, all 9 people just wait their turn. So I don't know, if you're having a party with 9 people, you wait around until the other person can go. And next section gives us all the spells that we're going to play on. Now, you have to refer to the manual for this, and we did a few play tests, me and David did, because this game is very in-depth with what you can choose and how the spells work and what the outcome is. When we get in the game, you'll see, honestly, it's really cool how it works.
Yeah, and what they're saying here in the manual, too, is before you even get into a match, into the duel itself, you're choosing from a spell, and each player chooses their spell before we even get to the fight. And then that's what they describe here as the duel.
Yes. And then we move on to the duel. Both players, if they choose defensive spells, the round will be declared automatically over. You can choose offensive and defensive spells, and then every description of the spell is here in the manual. The wizards all have mana, and this represents how much magic you can use or your health, if you want to call it that. But this is a game of wits. It's all about like our mind. So I picture it as whenever you hurt me with a spell, it's not physically hurting me, it's mentally draining me and my mana. Yeah, it shows what damage it'll do to your opponent, how long the spell's going to last, control, and then it goes through every single spell. We have the Banshee, the Crystal Shield, the Defense Bolt, the Demon, which is extremely random. It's like taking a gamble. Do you want to summon a demon? Because you don't really know what's going to happen when you do that. We have the Dragon, Earthquake, Fireball. You can fly in the game. You have Fog, Force Bubble, Hellfire, Lightning Bolt, Meteor Storm, the Plague of Frogs. First of all, if it was right now in October 1982, the first time we could play this, we bought the game and we were home, just reading the manual with you right now would be so exciting because we're familiar with role-playing games. We've seen Wizardry. We've seen Ultima. We've seen Dungeon Quest series. And so we're familiar with magic spells, but the way that these are showing the picture with the graphics, it gets me really excited to go in the game and play. I mean, look at this. It's still going. Shooting Star, Soul Sucker, Spider, Sunbolt, Thunderstorm, Tornado, Vampire, Wind, Wall. Now, I'll pause here so you can see what this stats are showing. It's letting you know how long this spell is going to last, how much mana you're going to use, how much damage it's going to do to the other wizard. And if it says any, it's saying which color wizards or team of wizards will do the best. I believe, do you remember the colors? What colors wizards are they?
Red, green, and yellow.
Red, green, and yellow wizards. Okay, because you can eventually break into 3 different main teams with 3 wizards in each team if you wanted to. All right, so here's the defense spell cross-reference. So if you see someone that could possibly attack you with the spell, this is how you could defend yourself using this. So very helpful. It works well. Manual works well. It is leaving out a few nuances we had to figure out ourselves, and then still some mystery because there's plenty of games in October 1982 that you wonder, wait, what's happening? What's going on?
I like what Jen pointed out is it's kind of like choosing a football play before each down. That's kind of what we're doing. Is it's a strategy of trying to outsmart each other with the spells we're choosing.
Yes. I want to talk more about what this game is or what I would classify it as, but we'll pop it in. Here we go. This is the cassette for Wizard War. I don't know who developed it at Salamander Software, but they did at some time in October 1982. At least the first time you could ever get it. All right, let's get in here. I got to do a little bit of prep because we're going to need a RAM expansion, and we're going to need to poke this.
Poke the dragon.
That's right. We're going to really quickly go through the load of the cassette tape. We are not going to wait the entire, 2 minutes for it to load up. But then here, for the very first time, I'm actually poking the game before we play it. 65495, 0. Ready, set, run. It's time for Wizard War. Let's do it.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, compared to when we did a non-poke game. Okay, so this is going to be a true Wizard War. We're going to go with 9 players. So ready? I'm going to go with 9. First player, I'm going to say, is David, my honored guest. And I'll be second player. And now to fill in the gaps, let's look in the chat. Last person in chat before that was Manly. Before that was M. Tiskey. And before that was kcclubkirby. Before that was Jen. Before that was Curtis. We're filling it with everybody. Pow Puck is in. I think this will be everyone. And then Hunter. And then I think Brian was before that.
Oh, there we go.
All right, there you go. All 9 wizards. And now you can choose the team color for everyone. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Let's choose our team color. So, David, you get first pick. What color? Green. He's going green. Chrono, I'll go as red this time. I really want to see if that will work. And then for everybody else, we'll just divvy them up as random. Let's do Manly will join my team with red. And then let's have M. Tiskey join green. And Jen join red, and then Curtis will go with yellow, Powpuck yellow, Hunter yellow, and then we need one more green for Brian. There we go. So there's our teams. Now this is another thing that makes the game interesting or unique. It is a hot seat multiplayer team game. So your teams, you're not going to be playing all at the same time, but you do hot seat and switch out whenever it's your time for your team or your 2 wizards to go against each other. Yeah, there's no white wizards here. So, and now it's going to ask us for secret selection. Now, what this means is when we decide on which magic spell we want to cast, we can reveal everything to allow the other people to see it or not. I'm actually going to go with no. We're not going to keep it completely in the dark because the first few, what do they call them, rounds? What would the, how is it,
Duels.
rounds, match? Duels, that's right. So we do a duel, then they call that enough duels, and then you have a round, and then it's the match. Like I'm thinking like it's tennis, but it's not tennis.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe just the whole game.
Yeah, the whole game, I guess. Yeah. So we're gonna go the whole thing where we can see the spells. So I'm gonna go ahead and say secret selection. I'm gonna say no. We are gonna make it so we can reveal it, and we're gonna show you how this works. So we begin with Curtis, the yellow, versus Jen, the red, and it shows us the mana for each wizard. And now the way that the controllers are plugged in, David is the top, so he'll be playing as Curtis the yellow. I'll be playing as Jen the red. When we first make a selection, like I'm going to say, I'm looking at my spells, by the way, at the same time. I'm going to make a selection and say I'm going to do the earthquake. So I'm going to select earthquake, and when I first make the selection, you can see it just flashes a red symbol there, but it doesn't show the spell yet. So it's still a mystery to David. He doesn't know. All right, so go ahead, David. What are you thinking? And we're going to reveal everything, by the way. We're going to talk through this. So he picked Lightning Bolt. And now when the game begins, the red light in the middle symbolizes ready, set, now you can go. And whenever we begin, you have certain actions. Uh-oh, here it comes. His Lightning Bolt's coming. I'm going to try my Earthquake. So the Earthquake's coming up over on the side.
Oh, and I missed.
I missed. I got it. Gotcha. Now, some of the spells allow you to maneuver them. So while we did that, I was able to move the earthquake, like actually give it a little bit of movement to pinpoint in the spot where the wizard was. So that's one example of how the spells are. And we're going to go through talking through the spells, not a true Wizard War yet. We're going to still ingratiate everyone to what this game is. Thanks, Manly. Appreciate it. All right, so next one up is it's still Curtis the Yellow versus Jen the Red, and I believe If you were the yellow, I think we got to switch sides, right? Was yellow on? No, we had it right. You
I,
were on you're on the left side. Okay, yeah. Okay, so go ahead and talk me through what you're wanting to do, and we'll explain a little bit more of the strategy of the game.
I am thinking I will choose a tornado.
Okay, so I'm looking at my spell book and know that the tornado is going to allow him to like control wind that comes down. So it takes a little bit of time to come down, but I can do a meteor storm that I think would be faster. So I'm going to try a meteor storm. So it looks like we only have one defensive spell each. You could choose wall, and I could choose defense bolt. And by the way, every spell that you see displayed here, it's all random. You get just a dice roll of which spells you can pick from, and then you and your opponent are now picking or deciding which one they want to do. In a real duel, you wouldn't be talking out loud to the wizard like this.
Right.
Before I destroy you, I think I'll do this. I'll do this.
For
So,
example, I could choose wind as my defensive spell. It's good at blowing things away, but wind would only affect your thunderstorm. The other choices you have would not be affected by wind, so it doesn't seem like it'd be a great choice for me. So I'm going to go with my tornado.
yep, that makes sense. And notice that when we see the visual, it displays the really quick pick that we had of our spells. All right, ready? And once the red light comes on, go. Oh, here it comes. My meteor storm's going down, and his tornado. Oh, it looks like his is blowing off. I missed. So my meteor storm was the red. His tornado was. I think. Yep.
Right.
And I do several flips all the way around. So still going, and notice that the mana is slowly going down. You use mana based on what spell you have and whenever you get hit. All right, so we'll go again explaining and talking about what we want to do, because this game did take time reading and figuring out which spells will beat what. If you wanted to really simplify the game, this is essentially a one-on-one fighting game with special attacks. But you only do one special attack, which is very, very rare right now to play a game like that. But because of this screen, this is where the strategy element of the game comes in, which is awesome. I love it.
Me too. I gotta say, I'm really excited that Force Bubble showed up here on my screen, because there's only one spell that can beat Force Bubble, and you do not have it. So I know what I'm choosing.
Okay, so if he for sure chooses Force Bubble, I could assume, hey, you know what? Force Bubble's pretty powerful. I bet he's going to pick Force Bubble, so I could do another defensive spell. Now watch what happens if I pick Wind, which is defensive. It immediately calls the draw, and the round is over. And now we've moved on to, okay, it's Curtis the yellow versus Jen the red still.
Yeah, I think it seems like it's been sticking with us the whole time.
Yeah, so the first two wizards keep going until one of them dies. Or, yeah, we run out of mana. We haven't, we read the manual, we're still a little confused on that part.
Right.
Okay, so going again with my side, I'm going to do Fly to show everyone what Fly does. It is essentially a defensive spell.
Okay. I'll go with Dragon and see if I can catch you.
Gotcha. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Red light, go. You immediately, I'm the red wizard, turn into a little glowing orb, and I'm flying, but now he's the dragon. He has to get...
Trying to catch you, and you're trying to
Yes.
stay away.
And for him, you have to push another button to breathe fire to actually get me, so...
I think so,
I'm
yeah.
just running away. And we are using joysticks. These are two spells that you have full control over. Oh no, I'm getting... Oh!
Did I get you?
Yes, I think you got me.
I did. I caught you.
Whoa, look what it did. So now, because of that hit, I'm down to 104 mana. It's not looking so good for Team Red. Okay, so I'm going to be a little drastic, and because I'm on the red team, I'm going to summon a demon, which means I still have randomness of this actually working. Demon can turn on you. You could summon the demon, and it actually hurts you and kills you. But I'm going to take the risk because I'm a red wizard. If the demon hits him, I think it would take you out because it'll be that powerful. So I'm going to go demon.
Unfortunately, that's the one spell that can beat Force Bubble. But I don't have a spell that would be faster, so I kind of just have to go with Force Bubble, I feel like.
So we'll see if it does it. Now he has the
So I've
bubble
got
up.
my bubble.
Yep. And
Is
now
it
I
enough?
am. Yep. I'm holding down. All you gotta do is hold down and wait for the demon. Oh, it did it.
Oh, it got me, and then you won the duel.
We did it. Okay, so Jin won the duel, and now we move on to the next round. So this is there's several rounds where we still have Jin the red versus Curtis the yellow. So we haven't. No one's died yet. We've just been lowered our mana to see how far we can go, and then they reset the mana. All right, so we're in again. Let's go again, explaining a little bit more of the spells.
It looks like we've swapped positions, so
Yep, I see. Yep.
I'm no longer Curtis, and you're no longer Jen. We've swapped, so I'm Jen, and you'll be Curtis.
So if
I
this
don't know
was a
why they swap
party,
it, but it's fine.
yeah, I'm not sure either. If this was a party in 1982, we just pass here's the joystick and hand it
Right.
over. All right, so yeah, I got to remember I'm Curtis the yellow. So if I'm Curtis the yellow, I'm going with Sunbolt. So when I actually do your selection first, David, you'll notice that the selection doesn't still show me. And then we get a flash of what the spell is after I select it. Now, if we decided to do secret selection, we would never know until we're actually in the battle. So you have that option too. It'd be even crazier Wizard War. All right, so I'm going to go
So
Sunbolt.
you normally wouldn't know what I chose here, but yes, you can see I chose Defense Bolt.
Okay, and you can see I am.
So my little Defense Bolt is trying to make contact with your Sunbolt to stop it from hitting me.
And so I'm navigating the yellow. Oh, quick! Oh man, that was so close.
Oh
I have
my
no idea how
gosh.
you didn't get.
I have no idea either.
It worked, so I got the Sunbolt.
It's so precise. You need to get it on the pixel, but it doesn't move one pixel at a time, so it's just really hard to control.
Yeah, you have to remember it's analog joystick, so you're getting maybe a little drift from it too.
Mm-hmm.
Nicely done. Okay, so again we've swapped, but we're still on the right side, right? Yeah, we still have we've swapped characters, but we're still in the right spot on the screen. All right, so for this one, I'm gonna go with Hellfire, which is an offensive spell. Let's see if you go defensive or offensive.
No, I'm gonna go Hellfire.
So you can do it fast enough. Ready? Get it. Hellfire. Oh.
Oh, we did not control that very well.
Right. Yeah. The Hellfire starts in the ground, builds its way up, and you have to actually send it.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
That was just terrible wizardry. All right. So this time I'm going to go with just straight up Ray of Ice.
Okay.
And he's going to go Force Bubble, which
Anytime
means
it shows up.
Because it will defend that, and there's no magic to it. Is that right?
Yeah, it doesn't cost me any mana, so you just ended up using up more mana, and yeah, that was it.
Yeah. And was there a timing to it?
No timing. It just stays up the whole time.
But you have to push the button, right?
Super powerful. Mm-hmm.
So you have to push it. Once it goes up, then it just continues to stay up. Okay, so
it's really the most powerful spell. I feel like it's too powerful in my opinion, but I wasn't the balance tester for the game, so.
Trust me, there was no play test. There was the developer was the tester.
Yeah, I love Spider, so I don't even care what you choose. I'm just going Spider this time.
Nice. Now the Spider spell. I don't know if I can flip to the manual right now. If you have it up, are you able to read Spider? Because that one's unique because it affects the other rounds after.
Yeah, so if I can web you with my Spider, then the next round you won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to choose a spell. You won't be able to cast anything. So Spider's really powerful if it works, but if not, I'm in trouble. It also is one of the easiest to defend against. So
yeah, because it's detrimental. Well, I'm gonna go with Soul Sucker because I think I can get the rest of your mana. Now Soul Sucker just takes the mana out of Jin the Red and gives it to Curtis. Here we go. Sucking now. Oh, does it mess up the Spider? So I'm sucking mana away right now, but you could still do it. I think you can still.
It's so hard to get over.
Oh, got it.
Gotcha. Okay. Am I alive? I'm alive!
Wow, barely. Something else to keep in mind. Right now, Magic in role-playing games is there's very little animation. I'm amazed at the amount of time they spent for every spell, giving it some kind of character. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
All right, this time I'm going with a. I'm going to do Soul Sucker again. Let's do it.
Well, good luck, because you're webbed.
Oh, that's right. I can't. My button wasn't. My joystick wasn't working because I had no way to
Oh,
choose. So it
I'm
happened to
just gonna
pick
choose
Dragon.
Thunderstorm, and
Yep.
then you can't do anything.
Yeah. And right
I
now I
can
can't
just,
do anything.
yep.
So he's
So
he's
you're
gonna
stuck, and my Thunderstorm is just gonna come over and zap you.
destroyed. It really does. Spider immobilizes you completely. You cannot do anything in the menu. You can't do anything now. And boom.
Gotcha.
Nice hit. So you did use mana. You're way low on mana.
Yeah,
Let's.
I think it's over for me.
Yep. So I'll go with Meteor Storm. Oh, you're going to try to Banshee. Okay.
I think even casting the spell just kills me. Yep.
Yes. Use the used up all your mana. Okay, so we're now into. It looks like the first round, if we want to call it that, is done, and now we moved on to David the Green. Which, hey, you're playing as David. It's the
All right, I'm myself.
and I'll be playing as Pow Puck the Yellow. And so with this round, let's talk after, and let's make it more where we're going to try some strategy on what we're going to do.
Sure.
Right. I'm looking at what is going to be the best selection based on what you have. And I think I know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, we both chose something defensive.
Yep.
It made sense.
Because I saw the force bubble, and it's so powerful that I just called it a draw.
Yeah.
We're getting in each other's minds, David.
That's right.
All right. Okay, I see. Very nice. So I can see now. Oh, wait.
Oh, you used your web too early.
Yep. I held down the button, which means it released the spider and shot the web, and then the round was over.
I went with the wall because it was going to defend against 2 of your spells, so it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I need to be more better with my mana here. Let's see what you have. Okay, you could go with. Got it. And I bet it's going to
Yeah, I don't think you have
Yep.
a chance. It blocks. Wall always blocks Ray of Ice.
Yeah, and that ray comes so fast. It was a blink.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, this will be interesting. Let's try this one.
All right. I wanted to do something fast just in case.
Yep.
'Cause...
I did it again. I held the
Oh no! You keep
That means-
using your spells. I guess I can just hit you now.
I'm getting so intense. I'm holding the button down, and it's doing it twice, and I just need to remember to tap because every spell has different functions, different.
Sometimes you need to hold it. Sometimes you tap it twice. Sometimes you tap it once.
That's
Hard
right.
to
You gotta know when to hold it.
Unless you read the manual, yeah.
All right. So for this one, let me see what you have. I'm interested to do. All right, here we go. I wanted to see if we both do it. What happens? It Soul Sucker works on both of us at the same time.
There you go. Probably
Okay, so
nothing happened. I'm
except
guessing.
both of us had mana that went. Well, no, we were both simultaneous. Yeah, maybe it canceled.
I think
canceled
it
out.
just, yeah, it did the same. We were pretty much at the same.
Awesome.
Okay.
Too fun. All right, so let's go with. Let's see what you have up there. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's try. I don't think it's going to work, though. We'll see. All right, so he went with Plague of Frogs. Here they come.
I've never successfully had Plague
Oh,
of
they're coming.
Frogs.
There we go.
Oh, come on. It's so hard to get it all the way over.
My wall scared your Plague of Frogs. All right, so I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen, but we'll see what he does. Yep. He went force bubble. I went with the defensive, and then it just calls it draw. Move on to the next one. So, if you really think the spell's unfair, that balances it out right there. You could just make it call the bluff, I guess, or call the draw.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, let's go with. Oh, what you have? Okay.
All right, I'm still gonna get you with Plague of Frogs. It's gonna happen.
All right, while you're doing that, I'm doing Soul Sucker.
Well, this time I'm closer.
It's not working. Soul Sucker isn't going.
I have a chance.
Oh, it was Sunbolt. I picked Sunbolt.
Oh, did I miss somehow?
Oh,
With
man,
all of that?
You
Look at how close I was. No! Plague of Frogs, why?
I picked Sunbolt. I realized it came from the sun, slowly went over there, but that was amazingly close. I can't believe it. Wow. All right, so yeah, you can see this is on the. All right, so we're going to do. How about one more round, or one more to see once this one clears out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so seeing what you have, I'm going to go with. I'll go with Shooting Star.
I need to get mana back.
Yeah, and Soul Sucker's a good idea. There's my Shooting Star. Here it comes. A single yellow pixel.
No.
Wow.
Nice.
And I still won. Cool, but that was a good idea.
Well done, Powpuck.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. That is Wizard War for the Dragon 32. I'll go ahead and let Dave speak first. What are your thoughts on Wizard War, and how do you feel considered it's October 1982? What do you think about the game?
I mean, I think just the way that these spells work, that there's interplay, that there's strategy involved with the choosing. I was really blown away by just how fun this game was to play and just how cool it was to be able to control your spells. So I loved this. I feel like this is like a 4.5 for me.
Wow, that's excellent. So I describe this as a fighting game, which is very, very rare. Right now, if you think of fighting games, there's fighting games we played that have been boxing games. Like 6 games we played that are sports-based fighting games. But then if you want like fighting games that could be somewhere close to this, we played Swords in the arcade and Warrior in the arcade. And then on the TRS-80, they had a game called Duel in Droids. And of course, on the TRS-80 color computer, we played Dino Wars, the 2D dinosaur fighting game. And then another one called Dino Battle on the Atari home computer. And on the Apple II, there were 2 games we played. One was called Swashbuckler, which was sword fighting, and then another one which was, I still say 5 stars, The Biles Toad is an incredibly ambitious fighting game. This one is mixing that strategy in. And so because of how unique this is, and because of the multiplayer function and multiple people to play. Oh, thanks for the rating in the chat. Yeah. This truly is, I would say, one of the best games you could play across all home computers. It's just sad that it was only here. And I believe there's no ports. No one's talked about this. This video might be the video people look up and talk about Wizard War in the future because there's nothing out there. In fact, when I looked on YouTube, David, there's only one other video where someone tried to get Wizard War to work and they didn't get it. We have the footage right here.
Yeah, I think the only downside to this is you need this manual in order to really play the game, because all of those descriptions are really important to be able to play it well. So it's a little difficult to get into at first, but once you're in, it's a blast.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Well, cool. 4.5 stars, and very good. Very glad to have you. Really appreciate you coming on and playing around some Wizard Warring with me.
Yeah.
Be sure to tune in next time on Chronologically Gaming. Zaxxon's back at home now on your Atari, and we're gonna play it on the handheld. But it doesn't look like Zaxxon or play the same as Zaxxon. So is it really Zaxxon? That's it for today. And like I always say, video gaming is always more fun with a friend. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.